Whew, okay, LDBC, man, I'm doing my cool down lap. Let's get into it. Okay, guys, I'm so sick and tired of these political pimps. I'm tired of these guys because these guys, they show their ugly heads when they get out. When somebody black has been a victim of racial injustice, when somebody black has been killed at the hands of somebody white, a white police officer, or somebody non-black, these guys, they rear their head. Now, they come in press conferences that they do for the families. They do eulogies. Sometimes they pay for funerals. Sometimes, but they got all this money. But that's subject for later in the video. Sometimes they pay for eulogies. They do all this stuff. Or they do eulogies. But they never. You notice that these people, a lot of times, will never comfort the people whose son or daughter sitting in that room playing their video games or just doing homework, and then they get caught with a stray bullet by another black person in the neighborhood that's doing some old reckless stuff, such as, shooting up the neighborhood for no reason. Or have beef with somebody in the neighborhood, and so they're shooting that neighborhood up. A stray bullet comes in there and kills that young girl or that young boy. You notice that these guys ain't doing eulogies at those funerals many of the times. These guys ain't doing, paying for funerals many of the times. And these guys ain't no press con. They ain't calling no press conferences. They ain't doing that because, see, they can't make money. See, years ago, guys like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and even the Ben Crumps of the world, they felt like, when they first started, they felt like they were making changes. They felt like that they were providing positive changes in the world and when it comes to racism. And they, in their mind, they were exposing the racists. And they were putting them on blast. And it was a beautiful thing because they felt like they was really doing something. But somewhere along the line, these guys, they actually figured out that, you know what? I can't stop racism. Racism is gutted deep in the core of our society. It's in the core. And in order to stop racism at the core, you got to deal with it at, the Capitol Hill level first. And you got to gut it out. And you got to gut all the people. And then you got to, get it to a people level. And you got to start gutting it out. And, they figured out you have to pass laws to protect, black folks from certain racism. And see, they knew that the task for them was almost unattainable. So they lost their fire. And over time, they just said, you know what? We can't do nothing to help this situation. Let's make some money. And that's what these guys did. Let's make some money out of the situation. Let's be political figures for white supremacy. Okay, when white supremacy is doing something, let's be the figure overhead to be against it. Let's do it. See, isn't it something, man? These guys, they say they love black people. They say they love them. They say they love us. But boy, when that stray bullet come through the window, they ain't nowhere to be seen most of the time. Nowhere. Now, I'm not saying that these guys, these leaders, they haven't done anything. They've done things for black people in the struggle. But, man, most of the time, these guys are looking for opportunity and profit. That's it. That's what it seemed like to me. They're looking for opportunity and profit. If it's a time for them to be on TV, they go to a press conference. If it's something in it for them, then they go. And they do what they got to do to make their money. But if it ain't nothing in it for them, they don't go. These people don't go. But that's what they are. They're political pimps. They pimp out the situation. They pimp out. If a white cop kills somebody black, here they come. They pimp the situation out. They pimp it out. And they pimp it out to the highest degree because they know how to get people upset. They know how to invoke the emotion because everybody mad. We all mad. Black folks mad, but they know how to pimp the situation out. And they also know how to pimp out the families. They know how to do it. They're experts at it. See, I get on young people a lot on my channel. But one thing that I will say about young people, one thing that I really will say about young people, when it's time to fight, I'm talking about fight. Young people don't care. Young people will go out there and they ready to, young people want that smoke. Young people, 20-somethings, they won't smoke. Hell, you got even teenagers that won't smoke. And these people ain't running and hiding. Man, I'll never forget, man, when there was a riot here in my city. Got a friend of mine named Toussaint, man. He got pepper sprayed in the eye by the police. And I'm going up there to go get him. When I got up there to the riot, I saw nothing but legions of young people going at these cops. I'm talking about going at them. Legions of young people going at these cops. Legions of young people, man, just said, man, we ain't taking no more. You ain't taking no more. I said, Toussaint, man, you want me to take you back? He said, nah, man. He said, let's go up there with the young folks, man. He said, let's go up there and let's protest with them. And I never forget it. I'll never forget it. My first rally/riot. I was out there at 6 a.m. in the morning. Crazy. But those police officers, I'm going to tell you what happened when them young people stood. They had to take them kids seriously, man. They had to. And it had to come to an end. And guess what they did? They begged my boy Toussaint. They begged him to put an end to it. And then the OG Toussaint stood up and he told him, he said, we got our point across. I'll never forget it. See, that was a monumental day. Where was Jesse Jackson? Where was Al Sharpton? Where were these political leaders? They were nowhere on the front line. They're never on the front line. What they do is they wait for the smoke to clear. And when everything calm and settled, then they make a speech. But they don't want to go into the front line. Those guys don't want to do that. Now, when they first started out, yeah, you know, some of them were on the front line early on. But see, they don't want to do that now. They don't want to do that now. But I saw some things and I gained a respect for young people, man. I gained a respect for a lot of young people. And I realized that this generation ain't as bad as we say it is. We just got people who grew up that they don't care about rules and consequences. So you take a group of people that don't care about rules and consequences and you put them up against the police, they're going to fight. They don't give a damn. But somewhere along the line, these OGs, they lost it. They lost it. They lost their fighting spirit. They lost their fire. They lost their heart. They lost it. And they've turned into nothing but political pimps. Pimping out every black family killed by somebody non-black for $1. That's what they do. They just as bad as the damn churches. You guys ever see churches in these really, really terrible neighborhoods? Y'all see them? The churches, they look good. But the neighborhoods, man, and when you see a good-looking church in a bad neighborhood, you know that church is doing nothing to help the community itself. The church is there only collecting money. That's what they do. That's what the church doing. Just there collecting money. I remember growing up, you know, I never forget my parents, they left this church. And I never understood why they left it until I got older. My mom and my dad used to say, you know what? All they doing is taking. They ain't doing no outreaches. They ain't doing no book bag drives. They ain't doing anything. They just, you know, if some pastor was sitting there in the front of the church, okay, giving a sermon, and that's it. Go home. Ain't nothing. Ain't no stuff going on during the holidays. There was nothing going on. And my parents left that church. And we joined another church that was doing outreaches, that was doing different things for the community. And the church that I grew up in as a kid, the church, it was a rundown church because they didn't put a lot of money into building that church up. They put all their resources and put all the money into the community. And the community, the church helped build a community around it and make the community look good. That's what the church is supposed to do, y'all. They're not supposed to be there pimping out members. But these guys are just as bad because they pimp black people out. Because what they do is they feed in on your emotion. See, they feed on your emotion when something happens. And they always come at the right time because they know black people mad and outraged. They know. So they come in and they feed on that emotion. And then they pocket. They profit off of that. That's what these guys are doing. You know, we would get ahead. We would get ahead. And every black person, you know, hey, we don't like black on black crime. So those of you guys coming here with your thoughts and your theories and all this other stupid mess that y'all finna come up on, don't come to my channel saying, well, you know, yeah, black people do this and do this. You see, when people say, well, what about all these deaths in Chicago? See, I look at y'all when y'all say that. All people, all races, they kill each other about the same rate. There's no difference, okay? There's no difference. But I'm talking about when black people kill black people, these political pimps, they stay relatively quiet. That's what I'm trying to get at with y'all. So don't come to my channel talking like, yeah, man, black people do it today. Don't come. This is not a safe haven for racists. Okay, this ain't no safe haven. I'm trying to tell you, this channel ain't no safe haven. Don't do it. Because you bring your racist ass over here, you gone. Ain't nobody gonna see you anyway. But that's the thing. These guys, they want to pocket off of the suffering of black people. And I think it's inhumane, and I think it's just more people need to catch on. But I produced this video and people say, man, why you going in on the brothers like that? These ain't my brothers. These ain't my brothers. These people, man, they don't care nothing about you. They don't care nothing about me. They don't care nothing about any of us. You know what? They just want to make that money. Man, when I start looking at how much millions of dollars that Al Sharpton is worth, this man is worth millions. Crump is worth millions. Even Tariq Nasheed. And I even think Tariq Nasheed do more than these guys do. These guys, they worth millions, y'all. The Quanell X's of the world, they worth millions. Millions. How much of that money do you think they're sharing with the people who got these kids being shot by stray bullets? And I say that because a lot of kids are sitting in their house playing and a stray bullet come and kill them. See, I say that a lot. I'm going to go in deep into these political pimps. When I upload the stuff on my Patreon, I'm going to go deep with these political pimps. I will. Exposing them, they've already been exposed. Big time. But what they doing, this ain't a solution either. It ain't a solution. It's profit.